2.5, 3 years ago when I first found out about it. And so we began to experiment with it. Around May of 2008 was when we decided to actually make a business out of it. We began working on that, and we're at where we're at today. We wanted to see people take the downtime and turn it around. Although we didn't know then what we know now, we knew that people needed help, and we knew that there would be an opportunity for people to make things better if they really paid attention and found a solution for their situation. It's grown into a lot more than that. And we began to see the politics and the policies of how things were playing out. So we were talking about this a little bit earlier before we started today. We did a training with some of the people who work for the company. And, you know, we were all talking about, and I was reading a blog from someone that talked about it, how much damage they were doing to the industry. And we were all, for the most part, around before what is now known as Making Homes Affordable, Home Affordable Modification Program. We call it Making Homes Impossible around here because we think all in all the program made things horribly worse because it gave, the banks already wanted to put everybody in a box. They gave them a box to put everybody in. So we saw that happen, and we saw things begin to get more and more difficult. So during the 2009 legislative session, when they were taking a look at how they were going to regulate this industry and how they were going to help the homeowners, or quote-unquote protect them, we had took an interest because we saw things a little bit different. Because who remembers all the stories about people being scammed and companies shutting down and leaving with people's money? Okay, so that happened. Okay, well, when you have a huge need arise and a bunch of people who were making money in real estate and mortgages who aren't, and you have no regulations, what do you think is going to happen? That's what's going to happen. But at the same time, looking back at it, hindsight 2020, 2 years later, who's more predatory, the companies or the banks themselves towards people? So now it's shifted for people where they're looking and watching their back at. So we wanted to find a way for people to be able to get help because we knew they'd need it. We knew that beyond all the promises of you can do this yourself, it's not that hard, go to a nonprofit, we knew at the end of the day people were going to need professionals. So how would we maintain the industry and maintain professionals? So that's what we fought for. We were able to create a great amount of change and actually create the license, the covered service provider license, whatever that title means, that we have today that allows us to be able to have fees and service the clients with being able to run a business and at the same time having the clients protected through bonds and trust accounts and other ways that we operate. So that took us to a different place looking at politics, and it was a much bigger fight that started. So that's a little bit about us and how we got started, which is about the most that you're going to get about us pretty much is an entire piece because that's not what this is really about. What I do want to know is a little bit, though, from everybody about why you're here, what your story is possibly, what you've experienced, what it is particularly you're looking to find out today, so that if there's anything that I wouldn't normally cover, I can make sure your question gets answered. Everybody at once? No?
Okay. Well, this is just kind of a conscious, I mean, you're doing this for education, so if we ask you a question about how, say, the process works, and we don't, I mean, there's like, you know, I just want to feel comfortable that you're not going to be upset if we don't, you know, in the end, use your proper.
Well, you've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah, but
Was I upset with you?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I think you know the answer to the question.
Okay.
It's the same event. Were you asked to buy anything?
No.
Were you asked to?
No, but I want to feel comfortable that you know, if I walk away and don't use your service, you know, I mean, I'm very.
I'm going to stalk you? No, like what? I don't know what recourse there would be. You know what I mean? I'm not going to send you hate mail. I'm not going to call you. You know what I mean? So it's going to be the same as it was last time. You probably, if you haven't, will be receiving some sort of greeting card thanking you for being here and contributing to the event. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's about all we do.
Okay.
So it's that safe. So if you're afraid of greeting cards, please let us know and we will make sure that you don't receive one. Not giving you a hard time. I mean, it's a valid question, however. Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be anything against you. We won't find you and wait outside of your house or anything like that. So does anyone else have anything to contribute, though, as far as what you're here for today, what you've experienced? Okay, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't come here just to come. I'm underwater. I want to buy another home. I cannot. And so I'm not going to do modification. My lender said, forget it. You're not late. I'm not going to help you. So I want to know how come no one's talking about doing a short refinance. Why that is not ever discussed. I am not going to short sell my home. And I feel like it's just, there doesn't seem to be any other recourse. And I understand how come no one talks about there's an FHA program that's out here. You know, right now if you go to an agent, the first thing they're going to say is short sale. I don't want to lose my home. I don't want to give up. I don't want to walk away, but that does occur to me. I want to buy another home. I can well afford to buy another home. So you know, how come there's other programs, how come they're never talked about? It's always, okay, bankruptcy. I don't want, why should I mess up my credit?
So there's a lot about that, and there's a lot of information to cover in that we'll cover today. However, as far as the short refinance, I mean, essentially that's what the Hope for Homeowners program was to begin with. And it does sound feasible, it does make sense. However, there's something in the end game because it gets it off their books the same way it does in a short sale. However, because it's a refinance to the current person, when it comes to taking losses for a bank, here's what you have to look at. Was it a choice or were they forced into it? So if I'm not paying a mortgage and I want to go to the FDIC or whatever other entity to help cover my losses as Wells Fargo, as Bank of America, as Citibank, if you just said, I'm not paying you anymore and we had to result in selling your house to someone else short, well then I've been damaged. If I agree with you on a new price for you, meaning you had an ability to pay something, because if you had an ability to pay something, I should have just modified your loan with your current principal and given you a different interest rate.
But
So that's
why?
the business perspective.
Okay, no, and I understand it, but, okay, but that's still not helping me. You're just
I absolutely agree with you.
Oh, okay, all right.
I know it's not, I didn't say it was
Okay.
helpful or that it was good.
Okay.
I think that the best idea that ever came that we had a chance at, if it had worked out the way that they wanted to sell it to everybody, was the Hope for Homeowners program. However, that did not happen at all, and the money was all basically donated to the banks, and at that point we lost our leverage as a community. So we need to know what that leverage is and isn't.
That's why I'm here for a person, and I know there's a lot of us, you know, we're paying, we're doing the responsible right thing, and there's nothing for us. And again, you know, I'm looking at, I bought my place, I bought a second home here in 05. I'm looking at people moving in now buying my same unit, you know, half the price.
Or
And
less.
like I said, or less.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, I want to go do something else, but I cannot. And so what is there for a person like me who's doing the right thing? And
And we'll go over that.
okay.
We'll definitely go over it. And we'll go over some perspective. We'll answer some questions, some beliefs people have about the process and the prices that they pay and what those really are and the actual effect in a framework of time and looking at the economy. So we'll answer that in sort of a big
Well, I already
picture
know about the
way.
economy. I mean, I'm
Right.
past all that. My thing is, what is out there for me?
Right, however, just I'm saying is that's what we'll go over, is understanding that and understanding what's out there for you. Because even knowing about the economy, there's still a lot to know, you know what I mean? So we're going to go over as much information as we can, and hopefully that brings an understanding of what is exactly available, what the costs and benefits of those things are, so that you just know what choices you have. Because it's good to know the truth and to know that the likelihood of you getting a short refinance is, you know, very, very close to zero. And that's just what is. So when you're looking at that as a remedy in your plan, then that's what you have to know. And so we'll go over a lot more of that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
I hope we discuss which direction, since nationally, they talk about certain figures, but it really doesn't apply to us because we're not in the Great Recession. I think we're in a depression here. And as far as the market, I mean, I bought in '97. I'm not underwater. I'm current. But it's getting real close right now. What they're listed at the same, the house 4 doors down from me, listed at the same price I purchased it at in 1997.
Okay.
That was new construction.
Okay.
So I'm wanting to know, do I sell, do I stay, do I wait this out?
Right. Cool. Absolutely. That's good. We'll go over all that.
Okay.
Absolutely. Are you in a similar?
No, I'm just looking for the quickest modification I can get. Because I'll be dead before I pay it off.
Okay. That's
I just want to live cheap where I'm at because I don't want to move.
you don't want to move and you want to live cheap where you're at. Okay.
Right, because I can rent cheaper, probably nicer, cheaper than that.
Probably.
So, but I like where I live. I like to be able to paint my house, put new carpet in or whatever, do what I want with it. I just want to make it cheaper to live there
Okay.
till I die.
Okay.
And then they can take it back.
We'll put that on there for your notes. No, just kidding.
I just want to say, I'm in the same camp as that lady there, so, and I think a lot, just make it cheaper. I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, okay, I can say, I'm not like I'm going to die tomorrow if I don't, you know, get my mortgage, you know, down. But why am I paying so much when the neighbor just below me bought it for less than half, a bigger, nicer unit for less than half than what I paid for, and at a lower interest rate, And, you know, I mean, that's what irritates me. And I wrote to my I actually went into her office, Dina Titus, and you were saying something that's not going to do anything, and you were right. Because, no, and I'm serious, because I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and, you know, I followed up with her caseworker. Then finally, they finally gave me an email saying they contacted Bank of America and they wouldn't call them back. Well, what did I do all that work for? No, I'm serious.
Yeah. No, I know.
And I mean, what did I do all that work for and time and effort? And then, you know, then I didn't even vote for her. I mean, I'm not going to bring politics in here, but I just did. I didn't. Okay.
It's okay. No, I understand the frustration. Absolutely.
I have a piggyback on that of a friend who went to Reeves' office and did the same thing, and all they said was, "Oh."
I'm like, I don't know if we could say those words in this until
please.
after next
Well,
Tuesday. I don't know if we can have any conversation.
And she was told that, "Oh, we picked up your file and gave it to NACA, who's gone to Bank of America." That's it.
But the banks won't call you back.
Well,
You
and
have
they
to call
know,
them 100 times.
right? And we're going to get it. We don't want to get into a free session here.